Hello all dinosaurs, I'm Dan and today we have a super exciting video. I'm gonna show you guys our new level 40 Baryonyx right over here and how we actually made this, okay? And then I'm gonna show you guys our entire collection of Spinosaurid dinosaurs. So let's get started. Okay, disclaimer guys, this is not an actual Baryonyx from Mattel. We have basically repainted this using this Rorivore right over here. So we sculpted the spikes, we painted it, and this is what we have right here. A level 40 Baryonyx inspired by, the one from Jurassic World, the game. If you take a look at the picture right over here, it's looking amazing. So this is what we are trying to replicate. And it's looking pretty good. I'm super happy with the result. What about you guys? So let's take a look at all these spikes. I've basically sculpted every single spike manually by myself. So if you want to learn how to sculpt all these spikes, make sure you stay to the end of the video, okay? I've basically shown you guys how I actually repainted this entire dinosaur. So make sure you watch the entire video. So now let's do a comparison with every single Baryonyx that we have. This is the first wave Rorivore, okay? So take a look at this. This is supposed to be able to produce roars, but if you take a look at the button right here, it is actually covered. So I've forgotten about this button. I've painted over it, and now the button isn't working, but that's fine. It's still looking amazing. I love the turquoise, green, and the brown color scheme. It looks amazing. What about you guys? Please let me know down below. And of course, I want you guys to let me know which other dinosaur that we should be repainting next. Okay, next up, this is actually a lava search Baryonyx right over here. So there's basically no roars for this, but you can actually, let's do a comparison. I think this looks way better than this because it has spikes and it's looking pretty amazing. Okay, and Baryonyx is actually known as the heavy claw. Yeah, that's right. If you guys have a closer look at this, the first claw is actually much bigger than the other two. So this is why it is known as the heavy claw. It has one claw, which is super big, super heavy. Okay, I'm gonna place this Baryonyx right over here. I'm gonna show you guys our entire Spinosaurid collection. What are Spinosaurid? So basically, Spinosaurid are a type of It's a family of dinosaurs. If you take a look at this, which consists of Spinosaurus, Suchomimus, Baryonyx, and Irritator. Of course, there are many more other species, okay? But if you take a look, Spinosaurus is the biggest, followed by Suchomimus, then Baryonyx, and then Irritator. So now let's take a look at other Spinosaurid figures. We have another one right over here. This is actually a Rorivore. Okay, this is actually from Camp Cretaceous. I don't really like how the way they actually painted the eyes is looking very bland, but it's still an amazing figure. Okay, next up, let's take a look at a Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park. Spinosaurus is known as the spine lizard. It is pretty obvious because of this huge neural spine bones right over here. Okay, so let's try and see. Yeah, it's still working. The sounds are still working. This is actually a JP3 Jurassic Park Spinosaurus. It's pretty cool. I love it. Alright, let's move on to another genus of Spinosaurid dinosaur, which is the Irritator. The smallest among all these four. Okay, so this is the Irritator. Why is it known as the Irritator? Irritator came from the word irritation because paleontologists actually discovered that the skull bones and the other fossils were badly damaged and badly badly ordered by collectors, which is why the feeling that they got when they found a bone. So this is why the nickname Irritator came about. Alright, next let's take a look at Suchomimus right over here. Suchomimus is actually the second largest the second largest Spinosaurid right over here in this particular video. So Suchomimus is actually known as the crocodile mimic. I think you guys should know the reason why, because if you take a look at its face right over here, it looks like a crocodile. Okay, so this is the very first Suchomimus from Mattel. This is actually a action attack, and I actually have an additional one which we are going to be repainting as well. I'm thinking of repainting the Spinosaurus right at the back. You know, if you guys want to see a repaint on that, please let me know, okay? Please let me know. Alright, next up, let's take a look at next one. Okay, we have a Baryonyx. I don't have many Baryonyx figures to show you guys, so this is actually one of them. This is a Schleich figure, okay? Not a Jurassic World or Jurassic Park figure. This is from Schleich, a German brand. And yeah, it's looking very nice. I like this. But I prefer a more vibrant and or more realistic color scheme. Okay, next up, I'm going to show you guys a vintage Spinosaurus. This is probably older than some of you guys. Yes, this is like all the way back in 1997. Yes, all the way back in 1997. So JP39 Site B. So Site B is basically the area where the Jurassic Park dinosaurs were created back in the Jurassic Park movies, okay? So this is a very vintage figure. I'm not too sure if the sounds are still working. I doubt so. But yeah, I love this figure. Okay? Next up, let's have a look. I have more Spinosaurid right over here. So I'm gonna take the box and show you guys. We have a 2015 Jurassic World Spinosaurus right over here. Okay, this is like a mini Chomping Spinosaurus. Just gonna place it over here. Okay, we have a little figure of a Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. As you guys can see, the 3 slashes across the leg right over here represents the word 3. Okay, nice. Just gonna place this over here. But if you guys can see, this figure of mine is not standing well, so you basically have to just lean it against another dinosaur. Okay, right over here with a pretty beautiful little figure. It has a shiny glow across the entire body. I love this. The blue glowing paint across the entire body looks so amazing. Next up, more minifigures right over here. This is a Baryonyx minifigure. It looks pretty magnificent. Yes, that's right. I love this minifigure. Of course, I think there's another one from Camp Cretaceous, but I've yet to open that. It's still in its box. And we have two minifigures right over here. Are you guys able to tell the difference between these two? One is a Suchomimus and one is a Spinosaurus. Okay, so this is the Suchomimus as you guys can see. The colors are identical. So this is like a baby and this is like an adult Suchomimus. Yes, and let's move on. If you take a look at this Spinosaurus, this color scheme looks pretty amazing. This is a light gray version and we have a dark gray version right at the back, which is the extreme Chomping Spinosaurus. So let's grab this extreme Chomping Spinosaurus. I will be doing a repaint on this. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys want me to repaint this into a super looking Spinosaurus? Please let me know down below. If you have better suggestions, do comment down below. But you know, I feel like painting this to a level 40 Spinosaurus, or maybe like a lava Spinosaurus, like a red Spinosaurus. I think that would be really cool. So please leave some comments down below, some suggestions on which other dinosaur we should be repainting and what color scheme, what theme we should follow, which dinosaur we should follow. That would be really cool. Next up, let's reach out and grab the battle damage Spinosaurus. Okay, this battle damage Spinosaurus, it's pretty controversial. You guys know why? Because this Spinosaurus is actually pretty rare. The distribution of this Spinosaurus, it's not really good. Only a couple of places, only a couple of countries were able to get this Spinosaurus. And I wasn't one of the lucky one because I didn't manage to get this in my country. I had to spend a ton of money on eBay to get this Spinosaurus. But the good news is that Mattel will be releasing a new Spinosaurus. A new Spinosaurus which should be available, more readily available to many others around the world. I think that would be really nice, like the Brachiosaurus, okay? The Brachiosaurus, it's available in many countries. And hopefully, yeah, the same thing will happen for this new Spinosaurus. Okay, next up, we have the latest Baryonyx. Okay, this is not the latest. This is the latest. The level 40 Baryonyx is the latest. This one is the latest, okay? Okay, this is the second latest. This is actually Baryonyx Green. A Soundstrike Baryonyx Green right over here. So basically what you can do with this figure is that you can twist the tail. I mean, not really twist. You can just move the tail sideways and the neck will just move along. And you can hear different roars, okay? What I like about this figure is that it has very cool paint scheme around the eyes. It has red, it has purple. It's looking pretty cool. And this strap across the body, right over here, it looks pretty amazing. It looks pretty unique, okay? It looks pretty interesting. I love how natural the paint flows across the body and the patterns across the right thigh of the leg right over here. It looks very nice. I love it. But too bad they didn't really paint the claws right over here. If they did, that will make it look even more amazing. Okay, next I'm gonna show you guys a Baryonyx figure which I have behind me right here. So I need you guys to give me just 1 second, while I find my Baryonyx behind. Okay, I've got it. Stay right there. Okay, so this is a Baryonyx from Takara Tomy. It is a pretty cool figure if you take a look at this. So let's open this up. It's not a brand new figure. It has been around for quite some time, but I've always kept my Takara Tomy figures in the box. Yep, in the boxes. So the Baryonyx right over here, it's pretty inspired by I wouldn't say it's inspired by I'm not too sure. It could be inspired by Camp Cretaceous, because basically you can see Camp Cretaceous logo right over here. I haven't watched the episode where you were able to see all the Baryonyx. So if you guys know which is Baryonyx Green, this is Baryonyx Green. If you know the other names of if you know the names of the other Baryonyx, please help me out down below, okay? So that would be really helpful. Next up, let's take a look at this. We have a basic figure of a Spinosaurus. What is the basic figure? So basically this series, this range is known as the basic figures. There's no articulation on the jaw, which means that you're not able to move the jaw. You're basically able to move the tail, the legs, and the arms. A very basic figure. Okay, so let's move on and take a look at this vintage Baryonyx right over here. And once again, this figure right here should be older than most of you guys who are watching this video, because this is actually born in 1997. So it's very, very, very old. Okay, so if you take a look at this figure, it looks kind of weird. It doesn't look like the Baryonyx which we see nowadays. Okay, the detailing is definitely not there, but this figure, it's a vintage figure. It is a classic figure, and I love it. Okay, and this figure right here, it's another vintage figure. I've recently replaced the battery, so check this out, guys. I'll put my mic closer to it. Yeah, it has a very classic Godzilla sounding roars, okay? JPF3, I think this is all the way back in 1994. Yeah, that's right. 1994. A super vintage figure. Oops. Okay. Next up. Okay, this is not the Rorivore. So if you take a look at this two right here, they look very identical, very similar. But if you take a closer look, you can see the patterns on its body are different. One has green patterns and one has a dark brown pattern. So they are kind of similar when it comes to the base color, which is this green right over here, but the patterns on its top of its body are totally different. Okay, so you guys should be able to tell the difference by just looking at the colors. So this one is actually from the Baryonyx Clash set, I think. Yep, that's right, from the Baryonyx Camp Cretaceous Clash set. Next up, a Spinosaurus from JP3. The sounds are not working, unfortunately, but it's a pretty... Oh, it's still working! So that's cool, that's cool, that's really cool. This button doesn't seem to be working. Oh, it is still working, oh my goodness. How amazing is this? Yes, that's right. Next up, let's take a look at this Spinosaurus right here. This is a classic looking, not exactly classic, this is a Nanmu Studio Spinosaurus. I actually have two versions of them. One is actually a red version and one is a brown version. Okay guys, so basically these are all the Spinosaurid dinosaurs over here in our new level 40 Baryonyx. I'm super happy with it. Please let me know whether you guys love this, okay? And please stay on if you want to watch the making of this Baryonyx video. I'm gonna put it right after this outro, okay? So hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and on Saturday I'm gonna show you guys another 100 dinosaurs. I know you guys love those boxed videos, so stay tuned on Saturday for the next amazing 100 dinosaurs, okay? So I will see you guys. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you're not a subscriber yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button right now to receive notifications. I mean, I don't think you will receive notifications, but make sure you subscribe and check back twice a week for all our new videos, okay? Yeah, I'm Dan, and I'll see you guys on Saturday for the next video. Goodbye. I'm going to show you guys how to actually roll a spike. So basically, grab a little bit of the milliput, just use one finger and roll it into like a little ball, and then it's time to mold it into a spike. Just apply pressure on one side of it like this, and there you go, easily done, and one spike is made right over here. So I've actually sculpted plenty of spikes over here, so more than enough to actually fill the entire Baryonyx right over here. So I've finished sculpting all the spikes, and it's time to actually paste them onto the Baryonyx. So here's some super glue, and right now I'm just gonna paste them, stick it onto the Baryonyx. So it's looking pretty good. The spikes are all done right now, so it's time for us to actually paint this entire dinosaur with a coat of skin tone base, okay? Painting the base coat right now, so I'm just using a skin tone base to create like a primer coat of paint. So the base coat of skin tone color is actually done. So let's just wait for it to dry and we can apply more colors to it. The base coat right now is entirely done, and if you take a look, it is super neat and tidy. It's time for us to actually color the top with turquoise. So I want this to be really vibrant and colorful. So let's paint the spikes in the top of the body with this turquoise paint. It's looking pretty good right now. Okay guys, so I have actually painted the entire top portion with turquoise color, and right now I'm just going to blend it with a tint of olive green. So you can see I want to create this turquoise to olive green feel. Looking pretty good. Okay, so I'm basically just blending two colors to give it a very nice pattern. Okay guys, so basically the top is done with the turquoise color, and then I've added a layer of green paint over here I did some touching up of the spikes, and right now I'm trying to paint the patterns on the legs over here. Okay. Just slowly creating some stripes across the right hind leg. Okay. Maybe some patterns. Some nice stripes across the entire leg. I'm not exactly following the level 40 Baryonyx. Just getting some inspiration from it. Alright. Okay guys, so basically we are almost done. You can see the brown stripes I've drawn over here. And now it's time for us to just do some texturing on this Baryonyx. So far it's looking pretty good. I'm just creating some pebbling work, just putting some blue dots over the body. As you guys can see, it's looking very cool. So just giving it some depth to the texture, creating some pebble-like skin texture over here. Just very simple, just dotting across the entire body like this. So basically I've painted all the spots across the entire body, and it's time for us to actually paint the nails and the claws. So take a look at this, just painting the nails in black. So this is actually very simple. Alright,